Good evening, or hello, or whatever you say at this time. I am Janek from Penneo. We help customers and companies sign documents. We don't do much more than that. It's pretty simple. You can wonder, how can you make your day go doing that? I thought there was a lot of companies doing exactly that. But it's true, it's all we do, and we find it very interesting. The thing is, all the other companies call themselves something with sign. We called ourselves Pineo, Penneo, new pen. Not the best brand in the world because people don't get that. But now we're called Pineo and we have to sort of stick to it. Yes, we help companies sign documents. And why do we do that? Well, for most of you probably know this by now, but if you want to start a company, you got to find a problem to solve. Right? It's pretty basic. Ideally, a big problem that has an influence on a lot of people. For us, we figured out it's cumbersome to get documents signed. It's difficult. Not the biggest mission statement in the world, but enough, because there's a lot of documents when you think about it. Your bank person will call you and say, hey, don't you step by and sign this document? You got to have a half day off, and your wife perhaps also, and you got to find that place where you had your bank since childhood, and you got to go down there and park and all that stuff. Or you will send it with the National Postal Services, and that's going to take forever, and now it's going to cost even more. I think a Christmas card this year was 19 kroner. It will be there 5 days later. So that's not the ideal way of having stuff sent also. And then we have this, scan, print, download, fill out, scan again scenario, which doesn't work either. So we figured there was this problem. Maybe this could be done in a smarter way, okay? And our contribution to this world was, well, in Denmark we all had an eID called NemID. We all got it. We don't know exactly why we got it, but we have it. So maybe we could use that for something smart. Maybe we could have that be the sort of universal pen that could take out pen and paper and make some kind of a digital solution where you could sign documents using your NemID. So we have a big problem. Everybody's got these documents they need to sign. The unlikely solution to that problem is take out pen and paper, and you just add a little bit of technology to it, and then you're pretty much set. It's like if you want to build a birdhouse, you take some kind of handyman and you say to him, can you build that for me? Sure, he'll do 4 sides and a roof and a hole and a small stick. It's the same you say to 2 product developers. You say, can you code this so that you'll be able to take your document, upload it, send it to some kind of email, and the other party would be able to click on a link and log in with a username, password, and this eID and sign the document. Yes, that will be possible, and some hours, weeks, months later, you'll have like your first version of that product. All with me so far? Good. That's what we did. And we did that back in 2013. Back then we were a startup. I think today we're more like a small company that just grows fast. But that's what we did because we thought that, we figured if we could do this, we would solve a lot of problems because it would be easier, it would be faster, it would be more safe, and a little bit more modern. So, about business models, when you have this and you want to go to the market, what do you do? Do you do a freemium, or do you do some kind of, there's a lot of models to go with, and we thought, well, we could actually figure out, we have a product that can sign documents, who should we sell it to? And we had a small founders meeting, and a guy said, somebody with a lot of signatures. Good, you're the VP. Now who could that be? We thought about accountants, property admins, and lawyers. Could have been a lot of others. Could have been banks. Could have been the public sector. Could have been a number of things. We just thought about these because we figured, well, they would have annual reports. They would have some rental agreements, and they would have some lawyers. They have these bags full of paper. Surely there must be documents in there that need signing. So we actually thought that we would be sort of a built-in thing, so we built our product on an API so that we could be built into another software product. So our first business model was, why don't we try to find out who sells software systems to these 3 verticals? Not very difficult because there's like 3 or 4 software vendors to almost any vertical out there. So you find them and then you call them, some of them down here, and you say, hey, we are Penneo. Never mind that. We can help you sign documents. You have like 400 accountants. Wouldn't it be cool if they could sign documents in your software? And they say, do you have any customers? Nope. Because these guys have, 2-hour roadmaps that are fixed and they can't really modify them. They don't really want to. So we couldn't really get that thing moving. But we still had this feeling that the product itself would be worth something. So we figured, okay, we can call the customers, which is also easy. It's not very advanced. We didn't do a lot of viral things and, social media campaigns. No, we just looked them up. They all called something with accountants, lawyers, or property admins. So there's like 1,600 accountant companies in Denmark, 600 of them with more than 1 employee. So they're easy to find. So you call them. Hey, we are Penneo, can we help you sign documents? And you get a lot of no's, but if you're persistent enough, some of them will let you inside, right? It's just like when you're trying to write a thesis for somebody. It's not very, very important for the company, but some of them will let you in and let you write something for them. This is the same. So we get inside and we figure out, okay, like an annual report was a lot of documents that needed to be signed by a lot of people in a sequence. And then they said, can your product do that? Nope, but we'll be back. So you go back with your birdhouse and then you modify it slightly, and then you come back and say, now we think we can do this for you. We learned that that was a workflow. That was a new word for us. But we could support a workflow. And that was sort of the first breakthrough for us, because now we got back and we showed them, okay, so now you choose a case file that is an annual report. And when you have that, you know that there's these 10 different documents that you already have that you just drag and drop. You choose who will sign it, and then you click enter, and the magic starts, because now the system will know these documents will be signed by these people first, and secondly by these people, and in the end the chairman will sign off on the entire package, and everyone will get a copy. Now that's way easier than the old days when people used to meet and you have all these piles of paper printed out and you needed to go through them all and have them signed, or yet printing them in 10 copies and try to put them in envelopes and put stamps on them and send them out and wait for them to get back. Some of these guys, Ernst & Young, 30,000 annual reports in Denmark alone. Can you imagine? They thought this was a pretty good idea. For us, luck. Yeah. We could have gone after retail and we'd probably be dead by now. But the good thing is we built those sort of workflows, and we did that for the other verticals as well, which means we have about 100 and 150 of each of them. So that's one good thing. Another good thing about what we did is, first of all, we phoned a lot of these accountants and we said to them, wouldn't it be nice if you could sign your documents? And they said, okay, we gave it away for free, just use it. And then later on, we're gonna send you an invoice based on your usage, on your consumption. Good sale. You don't get any money out of it, and you just sit there and wait. And nothing really happened. And after a while, the boat started sinking, and we kind of ran out of money. So we figured out maybe we should change the business model from this freemium try and buy kind of thing into having a fixed subscription for all customers. And then you can base it a little bit on how many users. And then we got them to pay signatures in advance. Why? Because of cash flow. we needed money. So we couldn't really wait for them to use it and then get money afterwards. But the magic was, when people started buying it and paying for it up front, guess what? They start using it. It's just like if you buy 50 stamps, you're gonna send those Christmas cards this year. If not, then you're gonna say, nah, most likely not. So the second thing was, first of all, the workflow thing was really good because we modified that product into matching what our customers wanted, and that's what all the other vendors out there apparently still haven't got. And then the other thing was we started charging for it. It's not exactly rocket science, but it's what we did. The machine, oh, what a fine machine that is. We try to make it sort of look like all organizations look because our board likes that. But we really just have two cylinders in this machine. We got some sales guys and we got some product guys. The sales guys will go out there and they will use their guns and they will sit there as snipers and call them one by one by one. Again, it's not rocket science, but we knew accountants, we can find them on Google because they all call something with accountants. So we phone them day by day by day. We get meetings, they get all excited about what we can do for them, and most of the times they buy it. We still haven't really figured out all this stuff about social media and viral growth and stuff. We now hired Chris, who's in the crowd today. He's going to help us with that because now we're sort of the second level where we think maybe we have enough brand name and enough customers to actually get customers come to us. But really we only have salespeople who call new customers, and then we have these guys who modify the birdhouse. Very, very simple. So I'm not trying to say that all this growth hacking doesn't work, because we also growth hacked when we think about it. We just didn't know. But we tried a few things and we modified. And you can argue that what we do is really, really, pragmatic view, very simple. So sometimes cold calling works. Sometimes, just find a good price for your product and stick to it works. Because we haven't changed our price model since 2014 when we came with that model that we saw here. And the good thing about it, you don't have to talk about discounts with customers, because if they want it cheaper, you just say, well, if you buy 500 signatures, you pay 15 kroner each. If you want 50,000 of them, you pay 5. So if you want it cheaper, buy more. Most people get that. Yeah, and then we have some of these show-off slides that just show, okay, our revenue grew, so 10x over the last 2 years. The signatures have grown as well. What we really like is that the usage is growing 3x a year, where our number of sold signatures is growing 2x, which means those two will meet eventually. And that's good, because that's where the stickiness comes in. If you were used to using the old-fashioned way where you send out documents or you would meet in person, and you go into this digital world where you can just send out documents really fast and your customers will log in on their smartphone and sign, then you don't really want to go back. So the more they use it, the bigger the chance is that they're going to continue with the subscription and buy more signatures, because they can't really go back. I think that's about it. Yeah. So we're digital, isn't it crazy? Then you actually get your name in the paper. I think it's also because I used to work for Google. They just have this good name that the papers keep writing about, so we had a bit of luck there. But if you're digital in Denmark and you do something as simple as helping people sign without a pen and paper, you get your name in there. What do you know? Questions? I think I'm done. Yeah. You do that? Okay, great. So